Hello everyone, in this first OB tutorial we will be taking a look at how to create a very simple flag with OB in Unity. Okay, so the first thing is to select which mesh we are going to use. You can use any mesh that you want. In this case I'm going to use one of the meshes that come with OB, which is a very simple plain mesh. I'm going to center it here in the origin. And I'm going to add the OB cloth component to it. That's it. Once you add the component, you will notice that there's a lot of smaller components that get added with it. These ones, all of these are the constraint components. We will get back to them in a moment, but for now, just focus your attention in the OB cloth component here. We need to initialize it in order to generate our cloth, but it says that no OB mesh topology asset is present. Okay. For each mesh that you use with OB, you will need to generate a topology asset that generates topological information for that mesh. So I'm going to just go ahead, click here in the project window, create OB mesh topology. Okay, gonna give it a new name like flag, and I'm going to select which mesh I want to generate the topological information for, which in my case is this one. Okay, now once we have provided our mesh, the only thing left to do is to click generate, and that will complete the OB mesh topology generation. We can go back to our OB cloth component and just drag the flag topology here. Okay, now we can initialize it, and if everything goes well, we will be able to click on edit particles. Okay, and this will show every vertex in our mesh as a little blue dot that we can click on to select. You can shift click on multiple particles to select several of them at once. And if we click play right now, nothing will happen. This is because even though we have created a cloth component, we haven't assigned it to any solver component yet. Okay, so in OB, the solver is the component that takes care of updating the physics simulation itself. If you have no solvers in your scene, you won't be able to have any simulation going on. Okay, so I'm going to go to game object, 3D object, OB solver, and then just drag this object here. Okay, now if we click play, our cloth will fall due to gravity. Alright, so since we want to create a flag, we will have to rotate this about 90 degrees. And of course, if we hit play again, it will just fall like it did before. In order to create the flag, we would need a few corners of the cloth to be fixed in place. Okay, so I'm going to select these two particles here, and if we click this icon here, fix selected, that will prevent the particles from being affected by gravity and falling down. Okay, they will be fixed in place. If we click play again, here we go. Okay, now you can see two issues here. The first one is that the cloth is way too stretchy. Okay, doesn't seem like cloth at all, it's just like rubber or something like that. The other one is that, of course, it's just one-sided. Okay, we will take care of the two-sided rendering first. So I'm going to click on the mesh renderer, increase the number of materials to 2, and then select one of the back faces materials that come with OB, like this one. Okay, these materials are actually using a custom standard shader that comes with OB, but it works exactly as the standard shader in Unity does. So you can, use normal maps, occlusion maps, anything that you do with the standard shader. Okay, the second problem here is that the cloth is too stretchy. So even though we have the distance constraint stiffness set to 1, okay, distance constraints are the little springs that keep your mesh vertices attached to each other. Even though their stiffness is set to 1, they are too stretchy. So what we are going to do is go to the solver, distance constraint parameters here. It is a foldout, so you have to open it. And we are going to increase the amount of iterations here to about 10. Okay, much better now. Another issue that you can probably see here is that the cloth is too rigid. Okay, it doesn't bend easily or create any folds or wrinkles. So this is the opposite problem that we had with distance constraints. Distance constraints were too stretchy, but bending constraints are too strong. Okay, so what I'm going to do is increase the max bending parameter here to about 0.02. Okay, going to turn distance constraint visualization off. And if we hit play now, okay, you will see a lot more wrinkles in our cloth. Okay, now what would be a flag without wind? All right, so we are going to generate a new game object here, and we are going to add a new component which is called OB ambient force zone. The ambient force zone needs us to tell it which solvers are going to be affected by the wind. Okay, so in this case we only have one solver. We drag it here to affected solvers, and we're going to crank the intensity a little bit, like about 15. Click play, and okay, this is nice, but the wind is blowing in another direction, so we can just go ahead and rotate our OB ambient force zone. Okay, that's better. And still the wind is too strong, so I'm going to just set the intensity to 5 or 8. 8 looks fine. Okay, so here you go, a very simple flag made with OB.